we're doing today is setting up a vault for a funeral service. I'm doing my runners to level them up. Once I get them leveled up, I'll set my heads and everything else, and I'll show you that process here in just a few minutes. 1 by 6, just a small one. Can't get no better. And that's perfectly level. Check my other side. Not level over here, but I will be once I do that over there. Do the same thing. Just do level. A little one before. Level there. I'm checking my steerability, make sure I'm good and sturdy. That's sturdy. Need that. Now we're going to put the grass down.
And why do you have the mound in the bottom
The
of the
mound
grave?
in the bottom of the grave is so when you set your vault down in there, you can get your cables, which I'll show you in the video. There's still cables that are used to lower it, and you can't leave them in the grave. I got 2 short pieces and 2 long pieces of grass. I'll take and fold it out and set them. And I barely lap them over the end of the grave. Just enough to cover my 2 by 6 under there. Short piece here. I'll do the same thing on this end as I did on that end. Back just enough to cover the 2 by 6. Make sure it all looks pretty and straight. Now I'm doing a long piece of the grass. I'm putting one across the back of the grave and one across the front. I'll do my front side first. And I just let it lap over about 1 inch over my run board. Now we'll do the back side. It also helps cover up your dirt pile. You want your dirt pile covered up so the family can't see it. And all this loose grass and stuff that's on it, we'll take a leaf blower and blow that off, make it look real pretty. The other side. That's got my grass down. Grave, so we can set the vault on. You lay them close to the end of the grave, but enough to be under your vault. So we'll get the vault off the truck. laying it where it needs to go. There is several pieces to this setup. If you have them laid out, it makes it a lot easier on you to, you'll have them where they need to go. This is one of them. There's two of these. You set them each to the end of the bolt. One on one side, one on the other. I try to gauge about 3 finger width length from my handle. That one should be where it needs to go. Go to the other side. Cable's out. Extension handle, it's your crank handle. This is your other head. Got to reposition myself because I picked it up the wrong way. I'm going to set it here just like I set that one. And you'll notice there is cranks on each one of your heads. You make sure they're always to the back side of your groove. And I'll show you why that is here in just a second. My 3 finger length. I've got to get my rod out. Goes to each one of your heads. Me, I always try to make sure I've got 2 little ridges on each side. I try to make sure they're straight up and down on each side. That way they're equal. I've got both of them connected. Now I'm going to do my steel cables. I'll stretch my steel cables out. Make sure I ain't got no tangles. I'll start on one end. You can start on either end, but a lot of times I prefer the closest one to me. I go to the inside hole and I'll wind it up 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the way you get your count is when you start rolling, this is your pinpoint. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I've still got 5 more rolls to take. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I slide it over here on my groove. You always try to make sure you have them as tight as you can keep them. You go to the other side. You don't have to run them under the vault. Come to your other side, do the same thing. Come to your inside hole, and over here, you just wind it up until it stops. It might be 9.5, it might be 10. And again, I'm keeping it tight. Sure I'm under the edge of my vault. It's good and tight. And over here, your start point is kind of to the back, but you ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cranks. That means 10 rolls. Now we'll do the back side. You fling it to the back side of your vault. Come to the end where you started your 9. And do the same thing. Find your inside hook and line it in. And roll it up 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you'll just slide it on your spool. And you'll notice, once you slide them together, you look at the other side that you've done first, they're equal. Your starting points are at the same location. We'll go to the other end and do the same thing. Find your inside connect and lock it in. And just roll it up until it stops. You should have 10 on this side also. Okay, we've got a small issue, but we can fix it. We'll have to come back on this end and make sure my cable is underneath my vault. Got to take a little bit of a bite out on this side. I've got my 10. I'll go back over here and I can fix this in. Now that we're fixed, we got our cables under. We'll crank it up. Make sure we're good and tight and snug. And you'll notice I did not run my cables under my vault, but they will roll under as I crank it up. My cables are underneath my vault. Everything is good and snug. I'm going to unlock my bottom from my top. There's 4 little latch pins underneath the bottom that I'll unlatch. Once I unlatch them, I've got 2 rails I got to get out. Each one of my rails has a hook. There's a lip on my device here that I have to make sure they're hooked into. It clamps down on each end, and I try to put them close to this little nut. That way I know they're equal. I'll do the other side. And do the same thing. Now I got lid clamps. These here is your lid clamps. They go at the end of your vault. There's a lip right here, if you can see it, that I'll connect this to. I gotta turn them down just a little bit. Okay. They're connected. I'll crank it up and make sure it's tight. It's easy when it ain't wet and rainy. You have your rollers on your rail. I got to get my handle so I can crank this up. I have an extension that I put on the end to where my handle will fit. I'll just crank it up just a little bit until it's latched, or it's tight. I'll go to the other side. And do the same thing. I've got to get it latched. I might need to crank it up just a little bit more, the vault, so I can make it latch on this end a little easier. Sometimes your latch will be a little bit aggravating. But once you get it locked in, you can crank it up and it'll be tight. Again, I've got another extension. I've got one on each end. And I'm going to crank it up till it's tight. Okay. Now I'm going to lower my bottom. Again, I want to make sure I'm unlatched. And I'll take my handle and crank my bottom down. My lid should stay on top. You see I'm lowering the bottom. And I'm leaving the 2x6s under there. For when I get the lid up, I have to roll it back. before I get ready to roll the sled back, I've got 2 legs that I make sure is underneath my rails. Just get them as close as you can. You might have to use a 2x6 or a piece of 2x4 to raise them up enough. They will adjust out, but today I just need a little bitty 2x6 or a 2x4. 4 to go under it, or 2x6. That way it will not fall off. And the purpose of these legs is when you roll this lid back, the vault lid is heavier and it'll actually make everything fall backward. That's the reason that's the reason for these legs. Alright, I've got my 2 legs set. I'm going to finish cranking up the vault lid. I crank up on one side a little, and then I go to the other side. You can crank one side all the way up. After you start the other side, you can crank it all the way up until it stops. And that locks your vault lid in place. And I'll show you what holds your vault lid to keep from rocking back and forth. Cranking the other side up until it locks. That side is locked in. I no longer need my extensions at this point. I'll put them back in my truck. Alright, I'm going to push the vault lid back. And this is the reason for the 2x6s, because I'm going to be stepping on this bottom platform. That's the reason I leave my 2x6s under there. My vault lid is all the way back. Whew. I see why. Got to pull my vault lid back. My leg fell out, and I was about to lose my whole system. Try this again. My vault lid's back. My partner can hand me my little round plate. I'll show you where they go. This is your plate for your lowering device of your coffin or your casket. You put one on each side. I've got one on the other side. On these 2 plates, you'll notice I've got a wide wedge and a small narrow slot. My wide slot goes on the back. My narrow goes on the front. I can let my vault roll forward and it won't go nowhere. Now I'm going to get my casket device. I gotta fix my straps on my device. Make sure they're straight. This is where your casket actually sits. We'll crank it up. Get our bands good and tight. And lock them down. Bands are tight. I have 3 of these I have to lay on top. 1, 2 of them goes in the middle. You'll see where your device slides apart. You just slide them together. They're right there. And this part, you decide which way the directors are going to come on with the casket. To me, they'll come on with the foot. So I'm going to lay this at the foot. If they had access, I would put it at the head to where they can come on at the head of the grave. But today they got more access at the bottom. This here is just a little stay bar to make everything stay in place. It's a little slide bar. I'll pull that top one. I said it's got a little bow in it. I need to straighten it. Slide it back in position. There's your vault setup. Now I will crank the bottom back up so I can pull these 2x6s out. And I'm going to lower the bottom down into the grave just a little bit. Just enough to where you can see it, the top part of it. There's your complete setup. I hope this video has helped. I hope everybody can learn. And have a great day. Thank you.